Okay, so imagine you're going to see a film that you're super excited for. It's like your favorite genre, which is horror. And you've been waiting for it all week, if not the entire year since it was announced. The trailers were awesome. You've just been so excited for it. Like, you could see it on my face how giddy I was to see this film. And when I sit down to watch it at AMC theaters today, there was just like this weird thing going on with the screen, and I didn't know if it was the screen itself or if it was like the projector or something like that. The screen was flashing the entire time, and it was so annoying. It was honest to God nauseating. I guess I'm just glad it wasn't like Superman or like Fantastic Four or something that's like my top anticipated movies of the year. But like Bring Her Back, Sinners, 28 years later, those are movies that I'm like on the edge of my seat dying to see practically. Bring Her Back, if not more so than the other two. And I've already seen Sinners, which was amazing. What am I going to do? Do I take an L and just go see it this weekend? Or do I bite the bullet, spend the extra money? I did get reimbursement on my tickets. AMC did make it right. Don't worry about that. But I'm certainly not going to take another risk and go to another AMC. That's not happening. So I'm going to go to Imagine, I think, if I do go tonight, which is a smaller theater chain out here where I live, and it's probably my favorite theater chain. It's honestly, it feels like family when you walk through the door. That's the highest compliment I think you can give a place. But yeah, it's 7:14. I think the next show is 9:20, so if I go see it, I'll let you guys know. I just got home from the film, and honestly, not only do I need to sleep on it, but like, I don't even know if I want to talk right now. I don't know. It's amazing. I loved it. It is easily my favorite horror film of the year. It is incredibly heavy, and it just, I don't know, it very clearly left a mark on me. It's the next day, and oh my gosh, guys, we need to talk about Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back follows a brother and sister who find themselves within the foster home system and are placed with a new guardian who is expertly played by Sally Hawkins, and she's not quite as nice as she appears to be. So like I said, let's just get this right out of the way right now. Sally Hawkins delivers probably the best performance I've seen since maybe Toni Collette in Hereditary, at least within the genre of horror. The different nuances and ways that she portrays this level of grief that she has for her daughter and yearning to see her again is so expertly done, and it's going to infuriate me to no end when the Oscars, again, don't care about recognizing horror or performances in horror. Bring Her Back is the sophomore feature from Danny and Michael Filippo, who are honestly two really amazing YouTubers, which if you haven't checked out their content, maybe you have and you just haven't recognized that you've seen them before. They did a lot of like Star Wars lightsaber battles, like the Harry Potter versus Star Wars type stuff back in the early days of YouTube. It was so awesome. Their first film, Talk to Me, which bursted onto the scene at Sundance all the way back in 2022, blew my mind, and it instantly made them one of the directors that I want to keep my eye on going forward, especially for horror films. And I can safely say that with all the anticipation I had going into the film and all of the rigmarole that went into seeing it, it lived up to the hype. Bring Her Back, in comparison to their directorial debut, is so emotionally devastating, so much so that like a lot of the visceral aspects of the film that you would expect coming from these directors is not baked within the goreness or the graphicness of the situation. It's really baked within the emotional consequences of the situation, which speaks to their level of writing and how they've kind of matured in that respect since their directorial debut. There are layers upon layers upon layers within this film. Do not think for a second that it's just this idea of trauma that the brothers are obsessed with, because there are definitely some underlying themes that connect between the two from Talk to Me and Bring Her Back. But not only in this film are we getting a new lens on grief, specifically through that of a grieving mother, but we're also seeing this idea of intergenerational trauma passed down through abuse with certain characters in the film. Their approach to portraying a nearsighted person, it was incredibly nuanced and really refreshing, and it didn't make this character ever at all feel like they were just there as a caricature of the person or just for sentimental value. They were actually a character within the story. A story that every single character within the film has multiple layers to them, even the ones that don't speak. Which brings me to the excellent performance from Jonah Wren Phillips. He absolutely put on a show as Oliver. And of course, Sally Hawkins carried him through a lot of that because she's Sally Hawkins. Having that buffer to bounce off of is incredibly helpful, but Jonah held his own. The other young performers as well, Billy Barrett and Sora Wong, gave emotionally devastating performances. I'm trying to be as vague as possible because the less you know, the better. I mean, it's the same thing for honestly any horror movie ever. Go into it knowing as little as possible. But man, I do not want to ruin this for people, but I need to talk spoilers. I need to. As of right now, this is probably my favorite horror film of the year. Sinners is still my favorite film of the year. That to me is a movie that is definitely going to be studied within film classes in years to come. So with all that said, if I had to boil all of this spiel down into a couple sentences, I'd say Bring Her Back is as emotionally devastating as it is visually striking and graphically intense. There were multiple moments where I was either fighting tears or literally jumping out of my seat, or, and I hate to admit this, but my friend next to me can confirm this, and I never do this ever in horror movies or movies in general, but there was a moment in the film where I genuinely covered my eyes and I felt like I could not watch what was happening on screen because it was just so genuinely devastating. So if you're hearing me say that, you should go check the film out for yourself. This would definitely fall within a list of like devastating or disturbing films. With all that said, you guys, I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 5. I really want to give it a 4.5, but I need to see it again. The ending in particular leaves more to be desired, I would say, especially in a thematic sense. But it did tie up in a way that I still felt satisfied with it, so much so that it's still one of my favorite, if not my favorite movie of the year. Besides Sinners, of course. I mean, come on, Sinners. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for letting me yap once again. Drop a like on the video and subscribe, and go check out some of my other trumpet videos here on the channel if you'd like to as well. You guys would be pretty awesome if you did so. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.